talked about a few different terms so far. If I give you something like f of x equals x plus 1, x minus 3, what are the factors? Factors, remember yesterday I told you, have the x in them. The factors are the things being multiplied together. So your factors are the x plus 1 and the x minus 3. What are the zeros? Yes, the zeros are the numbers that make it equal 0. So if I ask you for factors, that has an x. If I ask you for zeros, that is just a number. All right. Let's look at this question. Here's a polynomial. I want to graph it and find the zeros. Okay, so you can use Desmos if you want, you can use a graphing calculator if you want, but everybody needs to graph this for me. Zeros. What are the zeros on the graph like this? Where it hits the x-axis. Okay, so it hits at +1. All right, where else? -1.5 and here, does it hit at -2 as well? Little hard to tell on there, but why did it have 3 zeros? Is there any way we could have predicted that? Look at the original equation. What about that would indicate that we would have 3 zeros? The third power. That power tells you how many times it's going to hit the x-axis. Okay, find the solutions to p of x equals 0. That's another way of just saying, when is this thing equal to 0? So what are my answers? Again. Yep. So I might ask for zeros. I might say, when is p of x equal to 0? I might ask the x-intercepts. Those are all the same thing. List the linear factors. Okay, if 1 is a 0, what would my factor be? So a factor has x with it. If 1 is a 0, it would have to have x minus 1. Okay, -3/2. So we would have x, would it be plus or minus? Plus 3/2, except we don't want it in fraction form, so think of it as slip and slide. You're going to slide the denominator in front of the x. So 2x plus 3. And you can see if you set that equal to 0, you get the -3/2. So we get the same thing. If -2 is a 0, what would we have? Okay. So the factored form is just these parentheses multiplied together. All right. Using this graph, where is my polynomial greater than 0? So greater than 0 is above the x-axis. So it's greater than 0 here, and also this little section here. So we're going to write intervals. So it's from -2 to -3/2. Union, what's the next place? 1 to infinity. All right, where is p of x less than 0? So below the axis. So that would be -2 union, and then this section is from good. that okay? So now we are going to start factoring polynomials. We have factored some things before, okay? We factored lots of quadratics. We've done some x cubes, but those are always ones where we could do grouping. If we tried grouping on this one, it's not going to work. But I am giving you a starting point. I am telling you that 5 is a 0. That means it divides it evenly. So I am going to start by dividing this. Okay, think back to like elementary days when you were factoring numbers, doing prime factorizations. You know, if I gave you 16, told you to do the prime factorization, you would break it into 2 times 8, right? So that's what we're doing here. We know that 5 works, so we are going to divide by 5 to figure out the other piece. Is everyone doing okay with synthetic division? So 6 comes down, multiply by 5 and we get 30, add and we get negative 7. Negative 7 times 5 is negative 35, add and we get negative 3, times 5 is negative 15, and add we get 0. We know this has to be 0 because I told you it was a 0. So if you get something else, that doesn't mean just magically make it a 0. Go back and find where your mistake is because I need this part to be correct. Remember, this is my remainder, my constant, x and x squared. So we had 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. Now my directions are to factor. What can I do at this point? Flip and slide. This is a quadratic. This is something I can factor using what I already know. So that would factor into x minus 9, x plus 2. And then what do we have to do? Divide our 6 back. So 9 over 6 reduces to 3 over 2. 2 over 6 is 1/3, so 3x plus 1. Okay. Is this my final factored form? It was x to the 3rd. So I should have 3 zeros. Currently, this is only 2, so that's not enough. What am I missing? What else did I tell you at the very beginning? And I said 5 is a 0. So if 5 is a 0, what should be my factor? X minus 5. That gave me my 3rd piece. So the factored form, you need all the parentheses. Order of the parentheses doesn't matter. Multiply happens in any order, but if we start multiplying this all out, we would get back to that original polynomial. Why don't you guys try this one? Okay, so we did synthetic. At that point, you should have gotten 6x squared plus x minus 1. Okay, this is a quadratic, so we should be able to solve it. So if we slip and slide, so that's x plus 3, x minus 2. Divide the 6 back. So 2x plus 1, 3x minus 1. What am I missing? X 2x plus 3. And so that is my final factored form. Is that one okay? Let's look at this problem. So it asks me to find the remaining zeros with the given 0. So it's a little different directions. I'm not asking you to factor it, I'm asking for the zeros. But we have to start the same way. In order to find the zeros, it needs to be factored. So I am telling you that 3 is a 0, so I'm going to start out doing my synthetic with 3. Okay, so 1 comes down, times 3 is 3, plus negative 1 is 2. Times 3 is 6, plus negative 4 is 2. Times 3 is 6, plus negative 6 is 0. Alright, so that's my remainder, my constant x and x squared. So we have x squared plus 2x plus 2. Alright, what multiplies to 2 and adds to 2? Does anything? No. Okay, I'm asking for the 0, so I'm asking you to find out when this thing is equal to 0. If it can't factor, how else can you solve a quadratic? Quadratic formula. The opposite of b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I get negative 4. What's the square root of negative 4? So this is just negative 1 plus and minus I. Now, this one I only asked for the rest of the zeros, not all of them, so you don't have to relist the 3. I just wanted you to find the rest. So my other two zeros are negative 1 plus I and negative 1 minus I. Can you guys try one of those? You may or may not need the quadratic formula. It's not a guaranteed on this, but if it doesn't factor nicely, you can use it. Alright, so after we did synthetic, we have 2x squared plus x minus 15. If we slip and slide, that would factor into x plus 6, x minus 5. Divide our 2 back. So x plus 3, 2x minus 5. Do you guys get that? Okay. Our directions. This time I wanted the remaining zeros. So zeros are just numbers. I only wanted the remaining ones, so you don't have to give me the one I already told you. So I'm just asking, what are the other two? So what makes x plus 3 equal 0? Negative 3. What makes 2x minus 5 equal 0? So your remaining zeros are negative 3 and 5 halves. Okay, how are we doing with this? Good? Think good? Now let's try it. I have more examples if we need them, but this is the only